Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the History and Mystery channel. I'm your host Chronicler, and I want you to like and subscribe. Now that you have done that, let's dive into today's topic, a story that has fascinated people for decades. The 1947 UFO incident in Roswell, New Mexico, USA. Our journey begins on June 24, 1947, with Kenneth Arnold, a civilian pilot flying over Washington's Mount Rainier. On what seemed like an ordinary day, but that would all change when he saw something that he would never forget. 9 objects glowing bright blue-white, flying in a V formation across the sky. Arnold estimated that these objects were moving at around 2,700 km per hour, or for our American viewers, 1,700 miles per hour. A speed unheard of at the time. No plane could fly that fast. The strangest part, the way they moved. Arnold famously described it as like a saucer skipping across water. Now Arnold didn't jump straight to aliens. He thought maybe these were some new, secret military aircraft. But that idea quickly fell apart when the military said that they hadn't been conducting any test flights that day. Soon after, another witness near Mount Adams saw the same mysterious objects, which gave even more weight to Arnold's story. It wasn't just him, others had seen the same thing. And from there, it was like a floodgate opened. Over the summer, more and more people started reporting strange flying objects all over the United States. So many sightings that the media called it the Summer of the Saucers. This was the start of something bigger, something no one was prepared for. Fast forward to July 7, 1947. We're now in Roswell, New Mexico. A rancher named Mac Brazel walked into the sheriff's office with something very unusual. He brought a bunch of strange debris, rubber strips, tin foil, and some thick paper-like material. Mac found this scattered across his ranch, about 50 miles from Roswell. At first, he didn't think much of it, but after hearing all the stories about flying saucers on the news, he started to wonder if there might be a connection. He told the sheriff that the debris might have fallen from the sky during a recent storm. The sheriff, intrigued by Mac's story, contacted the nearby military base, the Roswell Army Airfield. Jesse Marshall, an intelligence officer, was sent to the ranch with Mac to check out the debris. After gathering more wreckage, Marshall took it back to the Roswell base. The very next morning, something incredible happened. The base's commanding officer, Colonel William Blankard, decided to go public with the discovery. He ordered Walter Hodd, the public information officer at Roswell Base, to issue a press release, saying that the army had recovered the wreckage of a flying saucer. This was huge news. What came next? Well, that's when things got really interesting. The press release sent shockwaves around the world. The local newspaper, the Roswell Daily Record, ran a headline that people still talk about today. RAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. This wasn't some fringe story. Major news outlets across the country picked it up, and soon everyone was talking about Roswell. The same day, a man named Barney Barnett from Socorro, New Mexico, reported finding something extraordinary. He claimed he stumbled upon the wreckage of another UFO, not too far from Roswell, but it wasn't just the wreckage that caught his attention. It was what he saw near the crash site. According to Barney, there were 4 beings lying on the ground near the broken craft. Their heads were larger than their bodies, and they were wearing some kind of clothing that wasn't anything like what we would consider normal, even for spacesuits. Barney told his friend, Vern Malte, about what he saw, and the story spread quickly. This added fuel to the fire. Now there wasn't just one UFO crash, there were multiple. People started to wonder if we were being visited by beings from another world. Meanwhile, the military was busy investigating the sites. After an aerial search, they found the second crash site, but they arrived too late to stop Barney from seeing what he saw. Something unexpected happened. the very next day, July 8, 1947, the military changed its story. In a stunning twist, Brigadier General Roger Ramey, stationed at Fort Worth, Texas, said the whole thing was a mistake. The debris wasn't from a flying saucer at all. According to him, it was just the remains of a weather balloon. They even released photographs of Jesse Marshall and other officers posing with what they said was balloon debris. This sudden reversal raised a lot of eyebrows. People couldn't help but wonder, why the sudden change in the story? Was it really a mistake, or was something being covered up? Mac Brazel, the rancher who found the debris, wasn't convinced either. According to his son, Jesse, Mac thought the weather balloon explanation was a cover-up. He couldn't prove it though. After all, the military had taken all the evidence, and Mac didn't want to make waves with just his words against theirs. Rumors even started to swirl that Mac had been detained at the military base for a short time, just to make sure he didn't talk too much. And when he finally returned to his ranch, all the traces of the crash were gone. As if things weren't confusing enough, on July 10, 1947, the military held a demonstration for the press. They tried to show how weather balloons worked, even using some strange configurations, similar to the ones used in the top-secret Mogul project. This project involved launching high-altitude balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests. The Air Force later admitted that the weather balloon story was just a cover to keep the Mogul project secret. But for many people, this explanation came too late. The damage was done, and the idea of a UFO crash had already taken hold in the public's imagination. For years, the Roswell incident faded into obscurity, with most people believing the official story. But in 1978, the story was revived by a UFO researcher named Stanton T. Friedman. He dug deeper into the case and spoke to none other than Jesse Marshall, the intelligence officer who had first collected the debris. And what Jesse Marshall had to say would reignite the mystery all over again. But that's a story for another time. I want to thank you all for listening, see you in the next one, and remember, history is written in mystery.